I posted I guess you'd call it a meme. Is Gold Roger talking about? It's a funny story, right? So I posted that in my community tab and got some comments and stuff. One of the comments said, "This is a goated backstory. Is it? Is there any rewatchability for this backstory at all? Knowing how it ends, I mean, we knew he was going to die, but like, there's different ways to die and there's different ways to lose, right? Like, to me, Romeo and Juliet has no rereadability because the two characters make the dumbest ass decision possible, and that's where this all ends, right? And I know that what happened caused peace between the families and all that shit. And there's a lot of entertaining dialogue and shenanigans and stuff that happens leading up to it. It's an entertaining story. But the journey is not worth the destination in this case. I'm very much a journey. It's about the journey, not the destination kind of guy. But sometimes, if the destination is really bad, are you ever going to watch Game of Thrones again? I'm not. So, if the destination is really bad, can you enjoy the journey? I don't know that I would ever rewatch these flashbacks. I enjoyed the hell out of these flashbacks. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed them one time. I really enjoyed reading Romeo and Juliet one time. But can I ever watch it again? I don't think so, knowing where it ends up. He's going to dance for 5 years because he believed the lies of people who are clearly evil, clearly full of crap. He believed what they told him. So he dances for 5 years. We're talking about, what is that, 7,000 days? Think about doing anything for 5 years. Now, I don't know he only does it once a week, but once a week for 5 years is over 300 times. They just, and they're facing the ridicule. It's very unsatisfying to me. Now, it's not bad writing. Like, I don't want to. I want to make this absolutely clear. None of this is bad writing. This is all fantastic writing, and it is true to the character. He is that naive, just like they said. You said Whitebeard is that naive. I don't know. He said Gold Roger is naive. And I don't just because a character says something about other people doesn't mean you should automatically believe it. It's a great way for a writer to lie to the audience. That person's a coward, and another character believes he's a coward. He's not lying to the person he's talking to. He believes that person's a coward, but he could be wrong. You believe shit about people that's wrong. I believe shit about people that's wrong. If I espouse that opinion, that doesn't make that person what I say, right? So I don't see Gold Rogers being somebody who's naive, but like we don't really know him, so who knows, right? I know the myth, and then what we've seen here. But man, it's just it's not bad writing. It is fantastic writing, but it's unsatisfying to watch, to see that big of a mistake being made. And it's unsatisfying for evil people to win because your protagonist is stupid. I remember one time I was in a chess tournament and it was the final, and early on I had a clear advantage. The guy made a mistake and I just was mopping the floor with him. I was about to checkmate him, and he threatened my queen just to get me to move my queen so he would delay his checkmate for 2 moves. That's all he was doing. And I was so concerned about the checkmate. I saw him move the piece, but I didn't see that his piece threatened my queen, so I just kind of like ignored that and then kept pressing my advantage on the king, closed off the one last avenue he had to escape so I could checkmate him the next turn. Completely ignored the move he had made. He took my queen. And he had a pawn ready to turn into a queen, but it was irrelevant because it would take him 3 moves. And with my queen there, like that was irrelevant. But now that my queen's gone, he was able to do that, and he won the game. Won the final, won the cash money. There was no cash money for second place. Everybody was watching. There was about 20 people watching this. There was a judge and everything. And I just made the most obvious, the most stupid mistake possible. It's just, and I was clearly going to win, and I just made, like I said, the most stupid mistake possible. And so the other guy won. And he's told me, he said, like, this is the most unsatisfying money I've ever made. Like, I shouldn't have won. It's ridiculous I did, and it's just unsatisfying. That's kind of what I feel about this. He won. I mean, he made a threat. He was just trying to get me to push a piece and delay the inevitable for one more turn and hope blind hope I would make the most obvious dumbass mistake possible, which I did. I choked. And was that a satisfying match for people to watch? Probably not. And it wasn't satisfying for anyone, and he told me that. He could have given me the money if he felt that way, but I'm just saying. But that's kind of what this is. It's like sometimes evil people, bad people win because the other side is just stupid. But that's the worst way to win. The satisfying way for an evil person to win is Emperor Palpatine in the Star Wars prequels. That dude was grinding. The Jedi weren't stupid. I've seen people make the accusation the Jedi were stupid. They weren't stupid. He was just smarter than them. He was making these moves. He was calculating. He was moving pieces for years, for decades, and he had a grand plan, and he saw it through, and was using people every step of the way, and was doing everything, doing things with cat paws and proxies, and then doing things himself, and he was the smartest person in every room he walked into, and even more importantly, he was super patient. He waited for the right opportunities. Who knows how many people he tried to exploit that didn't work until he got to the people he could exploit. We only see the people he exploited, so it makes him look stupid. But he was just smarter than everybody. He was grinding. It took him 3 movies and 30 years, maybe longer, to put his plan into place where he became emperor. That was not because other people were stupid. That's the kind of victory I like to see for the evil people. They were grinding, and sometimes they're just better than you. Sometimes you win because you're just better than the other person, and you're just smarter than them, and that's satisfying to me. And there's a lot of rewatchability in that. But the other person makes a really dumb, really obvious mistake. Where's the fun in that, right? That's kind of where I'm with this. Again, I really want to stress this is great writing. I just don't know if it's great entertainment. It wasn't fun to watch. It's not fun to think about. It's such an unforced error. I get why he did it. Like I said, it's perfectly in character for him to do that. But my God, man, he doomed his entire country for 25 years. 25 years. That son of a bitch, that weakling, that moron, that sniveling coward ran your country because of your unforced error. And the other part, like I said, I'm just going to hammer this on one more time. I just don't believe that people would revere him, considering he danced for 5 years, and it got to the point where people couldn't even watch. It was just boring, and he was a joke to everybody. He had like 20 people who still believed in him in the entire country of thousands and thousands of people. So I just don't buy it, man. If I mention Elvis to you, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? The very first thing, Fat Elvis. It doesn't matter that in the 50s he was one of the greatest entertainers we'd ever seen. Nobody thinks about him being the greatest entertainer in the 50s because he was Fat Elvis in the 70s. And in the 60s he did a series of shitty movies. He had 2 falls, Elvis. Great in the 50s, he had a huge fall in the 60s. Then he had the comeback, and he came back and he was great again. Not as great in the 50s, but he was pretty damn good. And then he had a second fall. And I don't even know if people even remember the comeback anymore. They just remember all the stupid ass movies he did, just grinding them out, movie after movie after movie, just dumb. And then Fat Elvis. So nobody's sitting here talking about how great he was in the 50s because of everything that came after. Recency bias. Because here's the thing, now that we know that he's going to confront them, his children are the correct age, he's going to die tonight, probably in this episode. If not this episode, the next one. He never ruled the country. He never ruled the country. His father ruled the country. He never did. He was living off his father's reputation, and the fact he was a good fighter. But where was the evidence of that? All the fighting he did was overseas. Here, in his country, he confronts the Shogun and Kadio, and he comes out and starts dancing for 5 years. The people in his country saw jack shit. They didn't see any evidence that he was a good fighter. He never ruled them. His father was the Shogun that they liked. What the hell is he? He is Julian Lennon. Yeah, John Lennon is a great singer. And we remember John Lennon to this day. Do we remember a single Julian Lennon song? He had one hit. And I don't even remember the name of it. And then was his other son. He was also a singer. He was a little bit better. Like, I actually had a couple of his albums. I don't even remember his name right now. So I don't know how great of a singer he actually was. So, like, these are people that are living off the reputation of their father. They're not as good. That's this guy. That's Odin. So where is the reverence coming from? Why are people revering him? Maybe it's a cultural thing. Maybe they just revere the bloodline, regardless of the individual examples of that bloodline. Maybe that's what it is. So it could just be a cultural thing, and I just don't grasp that because I'm not Japanese. But I don't get it, man. I don't understand. You know, I don't believe that people would revere him. I just don't, because he never ruled them. He was gone. He abandoned them for a long time so that this asshole took over in the first place. He comes back. He gets everybody excited for one day, and then he dances for 5 years. And then after the 5 years of dancing, he goes and gets killed. So what do you hang your hat on? What do you revere from that story? Like I said, you don't know what happened overseas. The overseas stuff is pretty badass. There's several examples of him being pretty awesome over there. But you don't have any evidence of that. You weren't there for that. So I don't get it, right? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up to me. So that's another thing I'm stumbling on. You know, nobody thinks of 1950s Elvis. I'm trying to think of some other examples. Kurt Warner, he was able to come back because he's in the Hall of Fame. He's a quarterback. He's in the Hall of Fame. He had a great start to his career, and in the middle of his career, he sucked ass. He was with the New York Giants, and then he finished his career with another team, and then he had a great finish to his career. I say great, relatively good finish to his career. But in the middle, he sucked ass, and he was cut by two teams. He was replaced by two different teams. And I don't personally think you should ever be in the Hall of Fame if you were replaced by two different teams. Two teams says, we can do better than you. You go away. Goodbye. In the middle of his career, not at the end. It's not like Joe Montana going to the Kansas City Chiefs. But he was able to bounce back because why? Because the final third of his career was good again. If his career had ended with that second team being cut by the Giants, would he be in the Hall of Fame? Hell no. He wouldn't, because people have recency bias. We remember how your career ends. We don't remember the middle of your career if you have a great third act, right? And as far as we know, nobody, what we're going to find out here, nobody witnessed his final battle. It wasn't something where it's like he could have won, but he made some kind of heroic sacrifice or something. I don't know. That could change my narrative here. If everybody sees it, that's a possibility. Like, he's like, I will give my life for people, but then we'd see the oppression, the 20 years of oppression that happens after he dies. So, I don't know, man. Like, none of this is adding up. But it could be a cultural thing. So, I've said my piece. This will be the last time I bitch about it. I just kind of wanted to get this out there so we can move on with the story. But so far, this arc hinges upon this character. And this character isn't making any sense to me. Although it's been very entertaining to watch episode to episode. So it's fun. But if people shit on this arc, this may be the reason why. Now, you can't really criticize them in the middle of it, right? I've said that many times. And we see people do that. And I don't think you can do that. So these are just what I'm thinking now. I'll have other thoughts when we get to there. And let's go and get to the episode. You know where we are. And you know where we're going. The hell is this? This is... what are they doing? I guess it's when he had decided he's going to go after him and they agreed. Okay, that's what that was. It's like, why are you guys laying down in the rain? 3, 2, 1. Shit, I forgot my drink. I've never believed anybody where I would follow them for 5 years of dancing. I believe in people, but I've never believed in anybody that much. Those are some loyal retainers he's got, man. Yeah. I keep saying Kato. It's Kaido. Of course, different characters pronounce shit different ways. I've noticed that. Fortunately, you were stupid enough to believe us. That's right. Go out there and dance. Hilarious. Fortunately, you guys are going to be turned into cherry blossoms. So get wrecked. That's the thing. Having a badass leader doesn't mean you survive the battle. More people should understand that. Yeah, the future ain't too great either, man. Well, Luffy also said Kaido, so I should try to get that into my brain somehow. I don't know how that's going to work, but I should try. Yeah, he went after that ass, boy. Dispatched. Is this how strong samurai are? That's the moment you realize you made a terrible life decision because you ain't surviving today. Dumbass. Well, they're getting smashed. Shit. And nuked, apparently. That's right. Yeah, you would think, but no. Yeah, I don't. We don't have time for a long ass backstory. I'm in the middle of a fight. Thank you for helping. Is that the clumsy ninja later? I think that's the same person. She looks very different. I ain't got time to talk to you, man. Good shit. Kick their asses. Meanwhile, apparently their place burns too. Because when they come back, it's like the place is in flames, right? So people attack here and they start burning the place down. He's 8 years old. He ain't reading no books. He ain't doing any sword training. He's just chasing his sister around. Dude, get with the goddamn program. Yep, you're screwed. All because you got a fever, man. Because you were tired of your trip. Yeah, idiots. Who's big boy there? Oh, I know who that is. Why don't you get your ass down there, then, bitch? Well, you don't have 1,000 anymore. Look at this son bitch. You know, he talks a good game and he looks a good game, but Luffy punished his ass. You got lucky with your one hit, man. And he's gonna come back stronger than ever. So can't wait. Nothing great. Maybe he sets that mansion on fire way over there, right? That's how it catches fire. That could distract Odin. I can see that happening. Tell you what, he does pack a punch. I didn't say he didn't. Because that's a punch right there. Can you imagine, like, you're some big ass, you got a club, you hit hard, but then also you can turn into a dragon and breathe fire? That'd be pretty damn intimidating. So far, I'm not seeing a crowd witnessing this fight. Y'all about to get wrecked. Well, apparently you think we can, or you wouldn't be intervening, would you? You'd just let your troops handle it. Yeah. Why don't you come down here, bitch? The fight didn't start up here. The fight started down here. You come here. People talk about, hey, we want to come outside and fight. The fight didn't start outside. Don't be trying to change location. We're doing it right here, man. They would do that because they didn't want the teacher to catch him, but they still wanted to fight, right? Be like, no, man, we're doing it right here. Do it. Fight that big ass. Oh shit. He's like a proto. What are the people who fought? Sanji's family. What are they called? I don't remember what they're called anymore. He's like one of them, like the prior prototype version, right? That's right. I will jump over your heads, and while you're distracted, you're gonna get wrecked. Cut his snake bitch ass up. Don't we see? Yeah, shit. Don't we see he has a scar in his chest? Was that caused by Odin? I bet it was. I think we saw that Kato had a scar. We're maybe about to see the formation of that scar. Get wrecked. Yeah. Damn. He's a hard dragon to beat. I get that part. He's just so damn big, man. There comes a point when the size disparity is just you can't overcome it, and that's the difference because Luffy can make himself big, right? From a narrative sense, the only purpose of this fight is to show Luffy what he can't do, and show how hard it's gonna be for Luffy to beat him. He's his own character. He's having his own situation. So for him, this is not about that. But as a fictional construct, that's why you write this scene. I like the good fighters. Yeah, yeah. Let's all grunt at each other. Of course, you have your energy attacks, right? So there's that. That's another aspect you can do. Doesn't matter how big he is for that shit. It's gonna take at least three swords there, buddy. That's another thing. Can Luffy take a full blast from the fire? If he has a shield of armor, maybe. Think of your family. What? Paradise Tortoise or whatever that is. I wonder what. Yeah, that's that scar he has on his chest. So the dude marked you. Every time you wash your chest, you're gonna think of him. So there's that, right? Bitch. Yeah. I bet that shit hurt. Yeah. Invincible my ass. He made him go back to the old him. Yeah. Still pissed off. That's all that dude does is run on anger and liquor, right? Shit. Yeah. Looks like Odin had a chance, man. Once you reduce him back to his human form, you got a shot, man. Weird thing is, Kano's chest already looks healed. I'm not seeing any blood weeping from the wound, right? What, man? That's the clone, right? They got him with the clone. They got him with the clone. That's how they got him. Yep. He would have won otherwise. Tell you what, I can't believe that the woman is such a mover and shaker. She was a kingmaker. She was a kingmaker, man. Like she, every step of the way, she made sure that this future came to pass. And we had never even heard of her until a couple episodes ago. That's the real power behind the throne. You know, it's very interesting. I've always wanted to be. I've never wanted to be the emperor or the king. I've always wanted to be the power behind the throne. I wanted to be the her, the little finger, right? The person making the actual moves. The figureheads can be taken out, right? But if you're the power behind the throne, you can never lose. And so I've always this kind of character has always appealed to me, especially when you go so long without even knowing that person exists. Like nobody in current day knows she exists. She may be dead by now. Because here's the thing: there's a shapeshifter fruit, but is that the clone fruit, or is it a different kind of fruit? That's what I was thinking about between episodes, because I can't remember the character's name, but you know he was. We saw him several times. Is it Mr. T or Mr. Two or something like that? You know what I'm talking about. The one who can shapeshift. Is that a different kind of fruit? Because it presents differently, right? I think he has to touch the person. This woman doesn't seem to have to touch somebody to become them. So I think it's a different kind of fruit, which means she can still be alive. If it's the same fruit, she's dead. Because that's the only way the power passes on, right? So that's why I'm curious, is that the same fruit or not? If she's still alive, she's the real problem here, man. So it wasn't the same night that she sent him to the future. I thought it was the same night he died. You two need to like get serious here. I know they're young, but damn man, like this is a dire situation. You can't be running around horse playing. They're about to come in here, girl. Get in my lap so we don't really notice you the first time we come in there. Yeah, I'm surprised they weren't all executed. Cold contempt sounds about right for these idiots. I don't know. I think I've seen enough of that dance. She must free them, I think. Somehow she got loose. Never seen her before in my life. Why would they believe him though? I guess people don't typically lie in this culture, so. Damn, man. I know he's trying to save her ass, but damn, man. Wait, did he not die on the battlefield? Was he just captured? I guess he was just captured. They're going to execute him. Okay. I thought he died. I thought that was a killing blow to his back, right? I guess not. Which means that it may still be the night he dies that they go to the future, right? She frees the rest of them, but not him for some reason. Boiling, boy, that is a terrible way to go. I don't know how I'd want to go, but it's not by boiling. That's for goddamn sure. Okay. I hope they're serving popcorn, I guess. What is the pre entertainment for an execution? They whip people to get you ready? You got a lot to learn, kid. She don't have a care in the world, man. The first of many, 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 many crying sessions from this point forward for this kid. He's just not a chip off the old block, man. But maybe that's a good thing because his father never ruled. His father got outwitted. He did. His father didn't get outplayed. His father got outwitted more than once. More than once. Because it happened at the end there too. You should have known that was a clone. How would your son have arrived there, right? Like unless he has some kind of transportation fruit. You know what I mean? If these were flutes instead of fruits, that would be a very different story. Well, they got a panel for you to walk out there. And screw all that. I ain't going. You have to carry me, which means you're going out in this heat too. Start with the leader, of course. If I was him, I would kill the others first, make him watch them die, his people die, right? That would hurt him more. It's about the torture, right? They start with him, and I guess the rest of them get away somehow. He's just gonna walk. I'll give him this. He's got class, right? Like he must think that doing this voluntarily is what's best for the country and his people. Oh boy's still drinking here too. Man, I'd make him fight me again. You know it's hot as hell up there. They got a guard out there sweating his ass off. At least the guard could come with me. I'd take him with me, man. Something. Do something to rebel. Eat my ass. F you. You're going in first, bitch. Perfect. Mwah! My compliments to the chef. That was fantastic. Boy, you dead as hell. That's what you get for talking shit. I wanted at least one guard to come with me, man. That satisfied my bloodlust. He wants to fight your bitch ass again. That guard burned up, man. He was like a. The guard went up like a Roman candle, man. Now we never know. We never knew if he got a fruit power or not. Um, when was the last time we saw him walk in the get in the water, like go for a swim or something? I don't know. But it's possibly as a fruit power that allows him to protect other people, and that's how the other people survived. I don't know. Like this is a very intriguing mystery how this all plays out because we know the result. We don't know how we get from here to the result, and I always love that. I always love that with flashbacks and prequels and stuff, where we know the end result and we know where we are right now, and it seems like impossible to go from where we are right now to go to the end result, but like somehow we do, right? That's always an intriguing mystery. I love trying to figure that out. I wonder if he picked up a fruit power that allows him to protect other people. Very interesting. Guess we'll find out.